All right. Welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. I'm happy to be with you here on this Wednesday. I feel like maybe we missed last Wednesday, but we're here today. I don't quite like the lighting. It feels a little dark, but maybe for you guys it's better. Anyway, I'm glad to be here because we've got exciting news. Hanoi Rocks. As you've seen on my show, we've been discussing whether or not there could be a Hanoi Rocks reunion. First, I asked SAMI YAFFA. Then he came back and I asked him again. Then I asked Nasty Suicide. I asked Andy McCOY, then Nasty Suicide, and then I asked Michael MONROE. Well, did that have anything to do with it? Have I spoke to any of the members of Hanoi Rocks today, now that it is official? They are going to perform together. We are going to talk about that and much more right after that. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody I know waste time with that. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. In a little bit, Johnny Monaco will be here, and he'll chime in on what we've been up to in our little time off. We're back on the road this weekend, but we've had a little time off. I thank everybody for the kind words. I'm going to get to as many of these comments and things as possible. Appreciate all the super chats. My surgery, for those of you who may not know, I have skin cancer. And I will be having a thing called Mohs surgery, which I believe is performed by Dr. Mo Howard. I am going to one of the leading Mohs surgery specialists. That's the good news. And that date, I think, is October 11th. So October 11th, I will go get that done. And if reconstruction is needed or skin grafting and those type of things, it will be done in the same day. It's a long day of surgery. I've explained the surgery here before. They cut a layer, they x-ray layer an hour later, they do it all day until all the cancer is removed. All you can do is hope that you don't have too much. So anyway, that's the update on me personally, and we'll see what happens as we get closer. We've got a lot of people here in the room. Now, I want to point out, when I got diagnosed with skin cancer, one of the people who reached out to me was Nasty Suicide of Hanoi Rocks. Maybe he was trying to tell me something, but actually he is dealing with prostate cancer, and he's had it for a while now, and I believe it's under control, but it's too early to completely say. And he reached out to me with some extremely kind words. He's one of the cooler people out there, definitely one of the cooler rock stars. I mean, most of these guys got their look from either Hanoi Rocks or Nasty Suicide. A lot of guys come to mind. And anyway, so that was very kind of him. So as you may have heard, overnight, this happened on Finnish time, and which is in the middle of the night, as I've learned, because every time I've interviewed the Hanoi Rocks members, I had to get up at 8 a.m., which was evening their time. So we're looking right now at the picture from that press conference that took place this morning. Very exciting to see. And as you know, because of this show, I really did try my hardest. Now, some people say that I had some influence in them getting back together. I find that hard to believe, but then more people started suggesting it. And I said, well, you know what? I was the one interviewer to interview all four of them. No one else has done that. Not in the last 4,000 years. Not to sound like Eddie Trunk, like I'm bragging. No, I do love Eddie Trunk, but anyway, I did speak to Nasty today, and congratulated him. But I also asked him Did you guys have any idea that this was going to happen when we did our interview? And the answer was no. And he's even said on my Instagram, look what you did. And he said a few other funny remarks. But so while I'm not taking credit, it's fun that they're giving me a little something in it. We'll see about talking to Michael MONROE one more time. I get the feeling that he was planning this big birthday event. And I think he was not positive about having Andy McCoy involved. Go back and watch the interview. Link in the descriptions to all of them. But he did seem interested in Jip Casino, as did Andy. And so I have a feeling that maybe they did speak to him prior. Of course, everyone has wanted them to get back together at one time or another. I just was the one who kept pestering them and asking the question. And then my move was I'd ask each of them and then tell the other one what they said, finishing it up with Michael MONROE. He was the last interview of the Hanoi series that I did. So it's exciting news. I think it's fitting that as the stadium tour comes to an end, Hanoi Rocks announces this. Now, for people who are looking into the long term, will we see Hanoi Rocks on a tour? Will we hear a record? I think they would tell you it's way too soon for that. I think they are surprised by it themselves. I think this is a fun thing for Michael MONROE's 60th birthday. Even cooler, by the way, Demolition 23 opening for Hanoi Rocks, which has several of the members, as you know, Nasty and SAMI and Michael. And so to have that, to have Michael's great solo music, and to have Hanoi Rocks share the stage. Again, watch the interviews. I kept telling them, what about getting the 5 of you to share the stage? And so now it's going to happen. Listen, they had a press conference. It makes you think that there will be more to this. You know, I don't think you get together and pose for a picture and do that sort of thing if you're not maybe planning to do it again. Now, I know that money has not always been the keys in their decision. They've said that. They've turned down plenty of these opportunities. But finally, seems to be a reason to do it. Also, the question is, can they all get along? Seems to me, some of them have had some trouble with Andy. Andy was on this show. He talks about his opinions. I think he was the most open to it in the interviews. Go back and watch that. And I think that they may have found a way to work. Now, they got to do this birthday party. They got to get along. It is on September 23rd. I wish I could get to Finland. I would. It's just too soon. And with my surgery, and I'm finishing up dates with Stephen Pierce, I just can't do it. But so I hope that if you're a promoter watching this, and they all do, you better book this. Those cruises and these mountains and these beaches and these parties and these M3s and M4s, Hanoi Rocks would be the coolest thing you could have on your show. There won't be a rat reunion anytime soon, so you better start booking Hanoi Rocks. I think people are tired of seeing the same bands. I go to these festivals, so I might be tired of seeing some of these bands. It's great that they have a place to play. It's great that they're continuing, but I think fans are hungry for something different. Here is something. I don't know the last time that they played with Jip Casino. I know who is the original drummer. If you don't know, Razzle, obviously you probably know that part, tragically died in an automobile driven by a very intoxicated Vince Neil. 2 other people were paralyzed. I feel like it's important to mention that it's not just Razzle, but these other 2 young people had their lives ruined that day. Anyway, but Jip Casino played on, I believe, the first 4 albums for Hanoi Rocks. And who knows when the last time they shared the stage was? 1983? I don't know. So this is pretty incredible. I hope you guys are excited like I am about this. And let's take a look. So I'm on the screen right now. We have a picture of the press conference. A lot of it was in Finnish, their native language, but there was a lot in English as well. It was very short and to the point. I think this is big news. Some people have slept on Hanoi Rocks. Maybe some people have forgotten, but I know there's an audience that will that would love it. Okay, so let's say hello to some people. What do we got here? I'm not wearing my glasses. Great news. I hope they come to Toronto. I hope they come everywhere, but I'm not so sure about it. Ryan feels like this could be a one-off. I don't think it's going to be a one-off, but I don't think you're going to see a tour, and maybe not see Toronto. One-off for now. That's what everybody says. But when you hold a press conference, you are looking at more. I think they don't want to put it out there. I think they want to make sure they get along. And then let's see what happens next. If you watch my interviews, all the links are in the description, you will see that they can be coy. They can, or Andy McCoy, they can say they're not going to do things. They could say, we don't know. In the end, something happens. I don't have any information. Like I said, I did speak to Nasty today, but I could ask him, are there plans for more? He would say no. He has a great record out with his family called the Stenfors Family album. It's great. And he's got a great family. Some of them, and I also chat on Instagram. Carlos, thank you so much. You know, I am going to take some of this credit. I'm going to take 2 steps from the move credit, or maybe I'll take 1 step, as the saying goes. But okay, so let's say hello to some more people here. Jay Jennings feels like I was the catalyst. I appreciate that. Stranded on Second with Tony Clark is here, ready to waste time. Good to see old friends. I'm sorry that I'm not here. Michael Perez says, I planted the seeds for a reunion. I did work hard. I will tell you something about the success of this show, which is that I'm able to do more than some people would. If you have a YouTube show and you have 50 views, you might not have the balls to ask some of the questions I do, but we reach a big audience. I do know a lot of these people, and I was able to ask some of the questions that I think you wanted and drive home that reunion. I was scared to do with Michael MONROE. He's told other people, let Hanoi Rocks stay buried in their grave. It's over. He has said that. I wasn't buying it and was pushing. And I think I was the common conversation between them. I can tell you that they were not speaking to Andy McCoy at the time. Yes, yeah, thank you. The doctor is here, Dr. Paul Shortino. Getting a late band worth for United tonight should get you unlimited. Yeah, can't say that for the next 7 months. That would be good. Yes, I agree that this is the band worth reuniting. I don't know who else there is. Led Zeppelin? I don't think it's going to happen. Pink Floyd? I don't think it's going to happen. And you're missing members in both of those cases. Now, of course, Rousel's gone, but this is the original Hanoi Rocks. Stephen, excited by the news, and I am too. And definitely, this news came out around 4 a.m. Pacific time, and Chris says that it should say that it's Hanoi Rocks reunion brought to you by Jason Green the Buffalo. I have reunited a lot of bands in my time. I can't take credit for Hanoi Rocks. All I did was suggest, but I did reunite the what are those guys called? The Strong Man and the Flabby Man, or whatever. Phil Lewis and Tracy Guns. I did reunite them 100%. You can Google it and read them giving me credit. They probably wouldn't give me that credit now. In fact, most of you should blame me. If you see them and you don't like it, or you think some of them may look foolish, it's my fault. And I've also, on this day in history, I was looking at my Facebook, I reunited Randy Piper and Chris Holmes to play a show here in Vegas. And they did not get along very well, I'll tell you that. You'll excuse me, I'm watching the Yankee game out of the corner of my eye, second game of a double header. You can see the wheels turning in my Michael MONROE interview. I agree. Michael MONROE paused and listened to what everyone had to say. And when I asked him if this was what was planned for the birthday party, he did not say yes. I don't think it was done yet. But he did say it would be something special. He's the one. The other guys are all fairly open, and Andy a little bit, but once he's interested, it seems like it can be done. Okay. I appreciate all these compliments. Someone out there is going to say I'm a jerk and I had nothing to do with it. Actually, somebody did, but it's fun to. And Hanoi Rocks should open for Guns N' Roses 100%. That's the tour. Guns N' Roses likes to take out these stupid young bands. You're not even if they're young. They're not rock though. They like to put bullshit. You see, Guns N' Roses likes to tour with bullshit. Didn't they just tour with that Wolfgang Van Halen? Who the fuck cares about that? And then, but they like to have like like Fatboy Slim or something, or DJ Skrillex. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. Hanoi Rocks would be perfect. They borrowed enough from them. The very least they can do is here's a good one. Michael Perez is interested in seeing me reunite Donnie V and Johnny Monaco. Well, I try often. Donnie V is a difficult guy to converse with. But I do, and I did confront Chips enough, and I told him that we need to get Donnie V back with Johnny, and that video will be coming out in a future tour diary. This is a good point from Dr. Paul Shortino. Now that I've done the impossible, maybe I can get Michael Bolton and Bruce Kulick back for a blackjack reunion. That could be in the works. I know the world is looking for that. No one gets tired of seeing Winger on a cruise. I did work with Winger on getting their original band back together as well. Let's see. And did. Hanoi Rocks is awesome, but Michael's solo records are I think it says ace. They are great. His latest solo record especially is really good. And yes, it was devastating that Razzle passed. A really horrible thing. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here. Shocking news. And Andy McCoy and Michael MONROE were working on an Oriental Beat remaster. It's called a remix, I think they call it. They have a rebirth. They have a word for it. But then I believe they stopped talking after that. This was during the pandemic after they found the original tapes. But they do have something to promote. Okay, Indie Cult would like to see Johnny, Donnie, and Chip back together. I think I am the only person who could do that. But it would be very difficult. And unfortunately, Johnny and I live in Las Vegas, and those other fellas live in Illinois. Although we will be in Illinois, maybe Johnny and I should just go by Donnie's house or his mother's house, if she still has it, and see if they're up for a reunion. Let's see. Johnny knows where those guys live. Let's see here. Andy McCoy interview was particularly great. I thank you for that. That one is at 21,000 views. I hope people will go back. Skid Row and Rat, both very, very difficult. Rat has reunited several times. I think the Skid Row reunion is big. I don't think they get along with Sebastian Bach, and I don't think that they will. The fact that they keep getting singers and that they make records and songs called The Gang Is All Here without Sebastian makes me think they don't want to deal with him. And then Rat, no one wants to deal with them. So you know that Rat cannot get along. A lot of people feel Hanoi would blow Guns N' Roses away. Thoughts on the Taylor Hawkins show? I'll give some quick thoughts. I'll do that with Johnny. Johnny, if you remember, we should talk a little bit about the Taylor Hawkins thing. And they said Wolfie was genius at Wembley. Okay, I'm trying to get to everybody. I hope that you're entertained. We have a lot of people here, 120 people in the room. I don't want to bore you guys. We do have some fun stuff. We've got some, well, Johnny and I will talk about a bunch of things. So just to recap, it was a great day for rock music and rock fans to see the original Hanoi Rocks get back together. I'm hoping we see much more of it. I hope that you'll go and check out my 4 interviews. If you're not a giant Hanoi fan, you don't know it, go back and listen to it. Maybe you'll discover something new it'd be new to you, right? Hanoi Rocks did not have a long run. Razzle passed away, I believe it was 84. I've done all these interviews. I kind of forgot the research. But anyway, I'm sure Chris is here with his Wikipedia. Anyway, listen, let's bring someone else into the conversation. It shouldn't all be about me. And I like it when the screen is smaller on my face. Please welcome Johnny Monaco.
Hey.
How are you, Johnny?
Hi, how you doing?
Did you have dinner, Johnny?
Nope, not yet.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe we'll keep this short and eat.
Okay.
Johnny, I know, are you excited by the big Hanoi Rocks news?
I've been hearing about this all day, and it's very exciting. One Step from the Move. I remember that album.
Or 2 steps from the move, yeah.
Showing my age.
You like the old stuff.
Yeah, the original. They originally called it One Step, and they're like, we really feel like we're a couple more steps away from the move, so they changed it immediately. I don't know. I missed that kind of era. Like when I first heard that "Don't You Ever Leave Me, Baby" song, I thought it was really cool. I was getting into it for a while there. It was a while ago. I don't know. I haven't, but I know it's a big thing, and people are really excited about it. And gotta love the Finnish people.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I think this was a band. This career was cut too short. Mm-hmm. When I first became aware of Hanoi Rocks, it was the 3 steps from the move. No, actually, it was 2 steps from the move record. I thought they were still in existence. MTV was playing their videos like they were current. The Up Around the Bend video, which is this extremely expensive video, and there's a famous scene where Nasty Suicide zip lines down to the stage, and the reason he did it was because Andy McCoy chickened out at the last second, and so he did it. But he tells that story in my interview. But I thought they were still active, and then I realized that this was old footage, and that the band was finished and or Finnish, and not getting back together. We're looking at 40 years or so. And then it takes the 60th birthday of Michael Monroe for them to do it. I stress to Michael Monroe, my favorite band, the Ramones, there is no reunion. It's impossible. And I wish while people were alive, they sometimes take advantage. The Hanoi guys, most of them seem in pretty good shape. They were a young band. They got popular soon. And so I think it's exciting for music fans. Yep. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about, everyone wants to see an Enough's Enough reunion. Now, I mean, by everyone, I mean like 3 or 4 people in the chat. But it's a tricky thing. Johnny, I've told you, I like those early Enough's Enough records the ones that I'm familiar with the most. And I think that people are getting a bad idea of what Enough's Enough is supposed to be. And I don't really mean this to be down on Chip's current band or anything, but I don't think that feels like the Enough's Enough experience to me, and I don't think it necessarily sounds like that. And I think that band, I've said this a million times, but it would be great with you on lead guitar and and singing as well, but with Donnie as the lead singer. He's the original guy who wrote the songs. The reason you became the singer for Enough's Enough for so many years is because Donnie left. And they had to keep it going. So, and Vic Fox, from what I understand, really does not like those guys. I don't know. Have you spoke to him?
No, I mean I know him, but we don't talk like, I wouldn't just call him up or anything. But I don't know what to say about any of that. I think Chip is content with how it is now, and to me that's a problem. So if that's how he wants to do it, that's his choice. I mean, it's partially his thing, right? So, I mean, I have no say-so in any of it.
Enough's Enough just played here in Las Vegas. I'm told. I don't know where you would even find out that kind of information, to be honest. I don't get the Village Voice anymore, or the LA Rocker, or whatever it's called. I don't know what that is. But I heard they played in town. Did anyone contact you about it?
No. I mean, Chip had reached out a couple of days prior about something else, and then he invited me out. But me and you ended up having other plans that night, And
Well, before we get to our intimate plans, what about, and hold on, uh, uh, thank you for the super chat. Doug Pinnock, Donnie, and Johnny. Why is this only letting me send you 350? I don't know, but I appreciate whatever you send because we have to get dinner tonight. But Doug Pinnock would be a great bass player, but I think you got to have Chip in there too. I'm hard on Chip, but he's part of that band, and he's part of that look, and I give him that. He still has a look, at least. I can't say that about everyone else he plays with. Johnny, your new song and instrument is great to me. It's a Beatle vibe. What is your favorite Beatle Lennon? Okay, we're gonna get to that. I don't want to get too sidetracked. If we get Johnny talking about the Beatles, but we will answer that because we appreciate the super chat. So Johnny, don't forget we're going to talk about your favorite Beatles songs. But first, so Chip reaches out to you, and he wanted you to help somebody or maybe be involved with something, right? We don't have to say what it is.
Yeah, there was something else separate from this because we had connected, at the monsters on the mountain.
Right.
So just probably was just like, touching base, and then he mentioned something about a friend of his that was doing something, a mutual friend of ours, and then he said, if you want to come out, and I was maybe going to do it, but it never happened because of some other stuff that went down. So,
well, so he did say, well, yeah, he had something, and I think it sounded like he thought you would be good for it. Maybe it helped him too, but I think he thought you would be good for something. And then he asked if you wanted to come out and jam, which I think is nice. I'm not sure what that accomplishes completely, but it's a nice gesture. You were considering it. We went for an early dinner that night. We went to a place called Casa Don Juan. I believe it was Chinese food. No, it was Mexican food. And you were a little disappointed they didn't have ground beef, which is odd. They only had shredded beef. I don't know if this had anything to do with what's about to come from the story. I had I forgot what the hell it's called, Camarones Rancheros, which is like it's like a shrimp. It is shrimp. Anyway, towards the end of our meal, Johnny, you said you weren't feeling well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just got all hot and felt like I was going to pass out, and kind of.
You lay down in the booth.
Yeah,
You're like, but like in the fetal position, like you were taking a nap. You lay down in the booth.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of the bill. No, that's not true. I wasn't feeling good. Something felt weird, and then my finger started getting tingly. I thought I was going to heaven. I thought I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. So I gave you my credit card and I said, just go ahead and do what you're going to do, and I'm going to go wait in the car.
I knew you weren't feeling well. Once you gave me the card, I said, "Oh my God, this is serious."
Right.
It's
true.
And
I just didn't feel right.
Very hot. It's been very hot here in Las Vegas. Ridiculously hot. 115 degrees, hotter than anywhere else. And nobody has been feeling so well, myself included. But you had spicy-ish food. It wasn't that spicy, but it's something. The heat, but you hadn't been feeling good for a couple of weeks. And after this, and after you gave me your card, I knew, and you knew as well, it was probably time to go see a doctor.
Yeah, I didn't really want to do that, but I didn't know what else to do because I wasn't feeling good all week, and I couldn't catch my breath. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe right. And between all those things, I didn't know what was happening. So we decided to go to the ER.
Yeah, we decided to go find an ER. Now, I go to an emergency room called Sunrise Medical. And the reason I go there is it's closest to my house. It's near the UNLV campus. It's closest to my house, and it is one of the places that can't turn you away if you don't have insurance. And then just don't pay the bill. That's the American way. I have insurance since then. But So, but when you go to a place like that on a Friday night near the Las Vegas Strip, you get a lot of whack jobs. More than the Enough's Enough concert. You get prostitutes, derelicts, and then there's a bad side. Criminals, and it's routine that you will see. The police waiting outside a gangbanger's door to question them if they recover, things like that. I personally kind of like it. It has some charm. But you wanted to go to a nicer place. So we asked your friend Ryan, who is a little bit snobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he was on his way to a rally, Night Ranger show or something at the time. But he told us about a place in Summerlin.
Yeah.
We went to the wrong hospital first. We went to a hospital that looked like Halloween 2. Michael Myers. It was really creepy. And there was
nobody there. Yeah, weird.
And we learned that they cannot tell you if they accept your insurance until they admit you, because they have to see everyone as well. Some kind of Hippocratic oath. So we left, and we went to this other hospital. I believe it's called Southern Hills. I'm not positive. And they were nice. They took you in right away. And anytime you have shortness of breath or any heart type issues, they see you right away and you get an EKG. So they brought us back to a room that looked more like a beauty parlor, right? They have these lazy boys.
Yeah, it was.
And you kind of recline. And so they took you in and gave you an EKG very fast. And then comes the waiting game. And they like to give you these stupid thing. I forget what you call that. Like a port. An IV. They like to put an IV in your arm that you won't even need unless they're giving you something. But they tell you it's better to have it there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you weren't thrilled. I wouldn't be either. I usually fight that IV. So you had it put in, and they took a lot of your blood. It was really, it was rough. I can't watch myself give blood, but I had no problem watching you.
I pass out just thinking about it.
I think much like our time on the plane, I think they might have thought we were, domestically involved, because they allowed me to lay in the lazy boy next to you. And
it was ridiculous. It was like Furniture City.
It was like it was like a furniture store.
Trying out this lazy boy, and how about taking a little bit of my blood?
Yeah.
While we watched the woman with the garbage bag next to me picking her nose and spitting on everybody.
Well, we'll get to her. I see tons of questions about Hanoi still. We could talk about that. Enough's enough. We'll talk about everything, but we're going to get through this first. So the people who started coming in started having more and more problems, and they started being more and more of characters. I learned everybody's diagnosis. The young lady next to me had she had a UTI, and she was very badly constipated. And and then the people diagonally from me, they had a vertigo. One of them had vertigo, and he explained that when you get up in the morning, you shouldn't just get out of bed. You have to get up, stand, take a breath, walk to the other end of the bed. He had a whole thing. I should have paid more attention in case vertigo.
It's ridiculous.
Happens. But I was learning everyone's diagnosis and then learning what to do just in case. They also had a TV on with a show, one of these true TV home fixer-uppers.
Yeah.
And it was rough. I couldn't find the remote, but it was one of those things where the guy's like, fabulous,
we weren't the gay.
We're gonna build you a new shelf, and it's like not that there's anything wrong with a gay man building shelves. It just it wasn't what I wanted to watch, and I wanted to watch like Quincy in the hospital. Although he's a coroner, maybe you don't want to see that. But the people started coming on were lower and lower class, if you will. homeless and I didn't think. Ryan assured us that this hospital didn't treat that type of person. Hmm.
He said, I talked to him after the fact. He said, well, I haven't been there since, since my kid was born, which has been like 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Didn't add that part in.
Sorry, I'm checking out the Yankee game. 4-1 if you're watching. Yeah. And then the bodily noises that were coming from people started to get alarming. There was a baby that was bleeding from the face. And the baby was crying as I would cry too if I was bleeding from my face at any age. And but that was getting noisy and distracting. And then finally I started hearing, as you alluded to, rumbles and stirs, and I believe gas was rising, and then vomiting began. And then there was the woman who came in with her hair in her hand, Geraldine. Don't forget that.
Yeah, it was in her right hand.
In the right hand, yeah. They brought her in on a stretcher. She had a bag of junk, and yes, absolutely, go Yankees, Eddie. But a bag of junk, cans and things, and then she had a hair piece in her hair. But then the woman next to her began, I think it was a woman, I couldn't tell, but all kinds of things happening. And then when the projectile vomiting began, I had to excuse myself. And luckily at that point, you were almost done. And for those of you who are new to the world of heart issues, they test your blood. They have to then test it again an hour later to see. I forgot the word. It starts with a T. Do you remember? Tryptophan?
It's some kind of protein that's in your blood. But I mean, we were there for like 6 hours.
Yes, we missed the entire Enough's Enough event.
That's why I couldn't go. That's the only thing that would, was if I had to choose one thing, it would be the ER.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's not to say that the noises we heard were anywhere reminiscent of what would be heard at an Enough's Enough concert.
It's a lateral move.
Here's the word.
Both venues needed an exorcist.
Troponin. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Both venues did need an exorcist for sure. So it was an interesting experience. Luckily, you're okay. You are supposed to follow up with your cardiologist.
I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I've been fine ever since. The last time this happened was when I was in Monsters of the Mountain.
Right.
I just say it wrong because everyone else was doing it and they all get a pass. And Chip was there too. So there might be some kind of connection.
I wonder if there's an Enough's Enough thing that just drives you to the hospital. Now, somebody says that you had a panic attack. It's possible. He was calm, but at the beginning, it's possible. Johnny, I won't talk about your medical history, but you have had some issues in your life that make it serious to go, and that's your personal thing. So we'll leave it at that. But
it could have been a panic attack. I've had those in the past, but I mean, we were just sitting there. We weren't even talking about or thinking about anything. So that's why I thought it was kind of strange. The panic attack maybe came in after I realized they gave you my card.
Say it again.
We were fine up till the point when we were reading. Everything was fine, and we just sat there, and then all of a sudden it just happened. So
it was very hot in the restaurant, and then maybe maybe the Mexican food disrupted you, or who knows? But it is smart to go because you didn't. Who the hell knows? What will happen. I've been in a similar situation. You have to. Mickey believes you're having sex withdrawals. Possible. I don't know I know your medical history better than your sex life, but could be possible. Mickey was incredibly concerned about you. She stressed to me that we make sure we get you to a hospital. And then she fell asleep.
And then she blocked your number.
Yeah, I messaged her and said he's in very grave condition. We're not sure he's going to make it. And
it could be a diet thing because I really haven't been eating a lot lately because I've been juicing, and it was really hot, and I didn't have a lot in me. But we had just finished dinner, so I don't know what happened. The whole thing was exhausting. I felt stupid after it was all over being there, and it took a long time. And I don't know what to say about that.
yeah, well, I was happier to go to a hospital than to see Enough's Enough. I know that much. Yeah, so it wasn't meant to be that evening,
Yeah, I
but
guess not.
we've gone out and ate since, and everything's been fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Last night we went to the Cosmopolitan, and yeah, we had a nice time. We shouldn't have had the shakes though.
That place wasn't that hamburger place. The hamburger was okay.
Yeah,
I thought it
thought
was.
that, yeah, that was all right, but
The
but
shakes weren't very good.
it was this comes up all the time, and we might as well ask you: did Chip pee in Madonna? This folklore has been around forever. Where does it come from, and is it true?
I don't know. I've heard that before too. It sounds made up to me.
Did Chip ever tell you that he slept with Madonna at least?
I don't know if he said it right to me. I've read it or I've heard him talking about it. I mean, I don't see those two ever meeting, but maybe they did. Did he pee in her? I mean, that sounds kind of like I'm a bad boy. I did this, you know.
Does that sound like something he would say?
Yeah.
Okay.
My toilet was talking to me the other day, and he's going around telling everybody I peed in him. So.
Well, it allegedly it comes from a Howard Stern interview with Chip.
Yeah. Well, he could say anything. I don't know if it's true. I mean, it sounds a little made up. But
he said he didn't lip sync, and there's video that clearly shows he did. So
yeah.
maybe he's a little dishonest.
No, I don't know what to say about that. You should ask him. Ask Madonna. She's going to be like, "What?"
Yeah, I was thinking have Chip on, but maybe I'll just have Madonna on. Why not? I'm sure she would love to show me her grill, and we can chat. When I worked at Troma, the makers of the Toxic Avenger, they were making before I was there. There was a movie called The First Turn On, which was like a Porky's kind of comedy. They had another one called Squeeze Play. They make these sort of softcore movies in the late 70s, early 80s. Anyway, Madonna wanted to be in this movie, The First Turn On, and she would show up in various outfits. She made her own outfits, and Lloyd Kaufman, the president of Troma, was out of town, and he did not pass on her, but supposedly his partner did. And there was some rumor that maybe Madonna put out or something like that. I've never asked the question directly, but in Madonna's younger years, it sounded like she was a lot of fun, and when she was looking to make it, I think she, Jelly Bean Benitez and some of these people who influenced her career. Did she live in Illinois at some point?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I just mainly know her from the video game or the slot machines at the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, we had some good luck on that. We made a lot of money on that one night. But anyway, so that if that sheds a little light on the Chip situation. So Johnny, let's talk, and then I want to get back to these people's questions. We'll get to them. I want to talk about Taylor Hawkins and everything else. But this weekend Madonna's from Michigan, so that makes sense. So this weekend, you and I are heading back out on the road after a couple of weeks off. We are going to Minnesota on Friday.
Yeah.
And on Saturday, we are going to Des Plaines, Illinois, which is your home, not Des Plaines per se, but it's your home state, Illinois. Also Scott Coogan's home state. And that will be good. I will be taking you all to see the School from the Breakfast Club. I will be doing that Saturday. That will be in my next tour diary. And the school from the Breakfast Club is in Des Plaines, 3 miles from the venue, and it is actually it's a police station now. So I'm going to see if the police will be happy to show us around. Not Sting and Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland, but the actual Des Plaines force. Anyway, so are you looking forward to going home, Johnny?
Yeah, it should be good. I've been back in a while, and I grew up sort of near Des Plaines, so I've been there. I've played over there, and I know the theater we're playing used to be an old movie theater back in the 80s. And then they kind of turned it into like a dollar movie place, you know, for a while.
Nice. I looked at it today. It's a nice looking venue. It looks like the Phantom of the Opera will be swinging down at any time. This is an old school thing.
Right. So it should be good. I think we have a nice hotel, and you know, we're going to be coming in from Minnesota, so it's going to be kind of in and out, right? And then do that show that night, and I think a lot of people have been saying they're coming out, and they've been hitting me up and wanting to come out. And I'm going to bring my extra guitar, because my friend who works on my guitars, who lives out there, he's going to buy one of them from me and just kind of keep it and work on it, because it needs a lot of work. So he's going to do that. So I'm going to go with 2 and come back with the 1, and maybe find something else to you know, get in place of that one. And then, and I'm going to stay there for a couple of days, and I'll be back. Yeah,
you're staying in Illinois for a little bit. I'm going to get to these questions that I'm seeing, but it should be a fun trip. I like these short trips for me. Leave on a Friday, come home on a Sunday. I think we have 7 shows coming up between October 1st. You can check officialstephenpearcy.com for dates, but we're going to Washington the next weekend at a lovely casino, Snowallakapi. I don't know. I forgot what it's called, but it's lovely, and we're going to be there. And then after that, we're going to. You got any idea where we're going?
Vegas.
Oh yeah, Vegas, and then St. Louis, and then wrap up the month, I believe, with Striper in somewhere in Texas, like close to the border.
Mercedes.
And I think it's like a Oktoberfest or something. I don't know. Whatever they celebrate down there, and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna take a little break. And I'm going to have my surgery on, I think I said it's the 11th. And then I've got like a whole month of doctor's appointments. Diabetes doctors, blood doctors, skin doctors, witch doctors, the spin doctors. So a lot of things to take care of in that month. And in that point, Chad knows, he's familiar. Yes, the Breakfast Club library was only a set, and it was built in the gymnasium. And we will see if the officers will show us that. Okay, let's see. And it's a little bit more Breakfast Club. A scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off was also shot there. For those who are not familiar, John Hughes is a legendary Chicago, was a resident, and all his movies take place in Chicago. My favorite movie of all time, National Lampoon's Vacation, is set. It was filmed in Los Angeles, but they claim it's Chicago. The actual Chicago house is right up the hill when you go to see the Griffith Observatory. That's where that house was. But John Hughes made sure that everything was written in Chicago, and that goes for the Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And so, for me, it will be fun to see some of those things. And I think we're getting a lot of Breakfast Club, quotes. You mess with the bull and you get the horns. So anyway, so it's going to be fun, and everyone should come out and see it. Now let's talk a little bit about, let's answer some questions, because people are paying, and that helps. Johnny, what is your favorite Enough's Enough tune and Donnie solo song?
Oh boy. I don't know.
Let
That's
me
a
tell you mine, Johnny, while you think. I'll tell you mine. You think,
yeah.
Johnny.
Go
My
ahead.
favorite Enough's Enough song is this is a tricky one. I don't want to pick like Fly High Michelle because everybody says that. And that
Yeah.
so I would try to pick a little bit deeper. I like a song called Mother's Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that Baby Loves You is great. That's a little bit more of a hit, but I think those are two great songs. And there's deeper ones than that. And then on his solo records, my favorite is that one that I always ask you to play, which is "You're My Favorite Thing to Do."
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Donnie has so many records; it's almost impossible to keep up.
Oh, I
And that's
know.
enough does too. So it's hard to know the titles to the songs. I mean, Donnie's given me stacks of CDs, and so it's hard to know which goes with which.
Yeah.
But Johnny has actually played a lot of this music. So, okay, Johnny, I gave mine. Now, what are you thinking?
Boy, that's really hard. I kind of like that song "She Wants More." It's off of Strength, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I know that one. Yeah,
I think that one's kind of cool. It reminds me of that vibe from that time, and I like "For Now." Those kind of songs remind me of that era when I used to listen to the band before I was involved. But then later on, there's also other ones that are really good too. "Baby You're the Greatest." That's a great one. I'm looking at some songs here. There's some stuff. I mean, each album there's so many good songs that it's hard. And as far as Donnie's solo albums, boy, that's another really hard one. I mean, there's a song called "Unforsaken."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really good one. Off of "Beautiful Things," there's a lot of good stuff on that one. It's hard to pick. I can't just pick one. I mean,
Yeah.
people ask you that about any one thing. If it's that broad, it's kind of hard to just answer that really. But off that White album that he has, there's a bunch of really great ones off that. "Better Love Next Time," "My Love," "Haunted," "For Your Pleasure," all of those. My favorite thing, like you said, there's just too many. I don't even know how to answer it.
Yeah. All right. So, but you gave a good you answer as much as you could. Okay, hold on. Now let me get back to the other question because I don't want anyone to think. Dillinger Compound, Michael Monroe's solo album, Not Faking It, so good. Not Faking It was the beginning of those records. That's the one where you had Axl Rose. He's on the record, but he's in the video, and all kinds of other cool people. Johnny, your new song on Instagram is great. Total Beatle vibe. What is your favorite John Lennon, Beatles, and solo tune? This is another tough question.
I mean, come on. How do you answer that? John Lennon solo song? Is that the question?
I think he wanted your same. I think it's the same question. He wanted your favorite Beatles song with John and your favorite Lennon solos.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I mean, "Day in a Life" is one of my favorite Lennon songs. Anything off of "Revolver," "Rubber Soul," that era. I mean, it's just you can't pick one. If someone held a gun to your head and you had to do it, but that's not this.
Well, what about if Mark David Chapman held a gun to you?
Yeah, right. They're not letting him out.
I really hope not. What a scumbag! And but they did let out the guy who shot Reagan. I mean,
Yeah, he's got a band.
he's got a band and he's looking for musicians. We should probably try out.
Oh,
Shoot!
you never.
Shoot! It might be fun.
Yeah, you don't want that guy in the set when the camera rolls and they say shoot.
Mm-hmm. And what? God forbid Jodie Foster make a movie. He'll get so upset. Anyway, that's a very impossible questions to answer when you have such a body of work. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this Taylor Hawkins and the Foo Fighters. I'm going to be honest. I don't know too much about it. Johnny, did you watch any of the footage?
No, I saw people posting. I mean, I wasn't like a huge Foo Fighters fan. but I know it's an event and people were coming in and playing, and I don't
Paul
remember.
McCartney was playing. I mean, like it was insane.
Yeah.
And I am also not really a Foo Fighters fan. That doesn't mean, yeah, like you said, it doesn't mean it's not an event. I'm sure a lot of people are excited, and I think it's great that rock and roll music is out there. That people are playing music. Wasn't necessary for me. So, what I find uncomfortable about the event, and Joe was nice enough to offer a super chat, and he says, "Will the Foo Fighters continue with his kid on drums?" The touching moment of the night is that Taylor's son came on stage and played drums on the song "Hero." That it is a moment, and the kids seem good,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it would be great if they would continue with him. I'm not sure he's ready for that. I think he's 16 years old, but the thing that makes me uncomfortable or sad, and I didn't watch it, so I don't know, is that Taylor Hawkins was a guy who struggled with addiction. Um, you know, it's a serious problem. He should not have been on the road. I'm not saying that Dave Grohl is responsible. That would be ridiculous. But I believe that Dave Grohl knew that he was an addict. But what do you do when someone says I'm okay and I can go? And maybe he didn't know the level of how bad it is. But when I see his son, I think this is a guy whose addiction left this kid behind. And I believe he had other children as well. Maybe they won't get as much media because they're not musicians. But so it's a little uncomfortable. I don't think that look. We should still celebrate his life, and fans of his are entitled to this moment, and it's good for the band and all these things. But I find it really sad that these kids were left behind, and I hope that somewhere in that show they mention how serious addiction is. I know it sounds ridiculous to say that, but if you're young, you got to realize that you can't just take if you start I'm watching the Yankee game, they're showing someone famous in the audience, he's picking his nose, so I got distracted. But how serious it is, and how there's repercussions to being an addict. So I don't say that to be disparaging, but that people, we're celebrating somebody who really was a troubled person. He's also one of the nicest people in the world. No one has a bad story about the guy. Brent Woods, who will be on the show soon, was close friends with him. They were in a band together called Chevy Metal. He's going to talk about it on the show. And Brent played at that event. Brent played Wembley Stadium. He's a long way from being in the band Wild Side. I think that's the band he was in, glam band. I think that I did see the clip of Eddie Wolfgang Van Halen playing. I believe it was "Hot for Teacher." Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw him play that. Thought it was good. Sounded fine.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought that was a nice moment to remember Eddie as well. And hey, it's good for the kid. They pick on that kid a lot.
Yeah.
He's a little large, and he also, he makes music. Oh, there goes my insult alarm. Hold on one second. He makes music that doesn't sound necessarily like Van Halen. But I think it was fun to see him play his father's music, and like you said, I think he did good.
Yeah, I thought it sounded good.
All right, hold on. Can you still see me? Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Give me a second, Johnny.
But I didn't watch it. I didn't realize it was on.
Yeah, I don't know where you. I don't even know where you would watch a thing like that.
Till the last minute, but yeah, I mean, Dave Grohl is very popular with people because he's probably real down to earth when you talk to him. And he's very, like a real dude kind of guy, and that goes a long way. And because I'm not necessarily think Paul McCartney listens to, Learn to Fly,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hobnobbing with these people and being as big as they are. I'm guessing everyone gets along much like they would at like an event with people that they can only let in, like the Illuminati or underground societies. They probably they show the ring and they come in and they sit down and then they go to Vant.
This I agree. It's interesting too that Rush reunited for this with Dave Grohl on drums. I mean, I like Dave Grohl's drumming, but I don't think of Neil Peart when I hear him. But okay,
They're probably just all they're probably all drinking out of a skull.
here's
That
a
big.
here's a the people at Vamped or the here's a comment that I think is a little silly. Any Van Halen true band plays just as good. Who cares? You want to handle this one?
What did it say?
He's
Eddie Van
saying that
Halen tribute band plays just as good. Who cares? Well, yeah, I mean, by now, if you have it in your hands and you could play, but the point of playing that solo, I've seen people in cover bands play it and they're horrible, and people tell them how you slayed it, you killed it, and they tell people how great it is. And I see other people play it note for note, and it's like a given, like, oh well, that's. But for him to play it, it's not about the technique and about the notes. It's about the fact that it's his son playing it. It's an event, like American Idol or something. They have a story. There's a story behind it. And if you don't understand that, you're just, you're an idiot with a platform. But it's like, the point is, it's his son. He's there to play. Obviously, they want to see him play it. That's what it's about. Even if he didn't play it well, it's still, that's not the point. So, and if someone says that, this guy plays it well and this guy doesn't, they probably don't even know what they're talking about to begin with, because they probably don't even know, they could say that and judge it. But most people that would say that and bring it up in the first place are just idiots that don't know what they're talking about anyway. So what do you know?
I tend to agree, and we've seen some Van Halen tribute bands that are not so great. That's not true that anyone can do it. And yeah, it was a moment to see him play his father's music. It was a moment, a tribute to his father, a moment for him, and I think for the audience to watch. I probably would not have watched had I not known that he was playing that. That was exciting. As far as who the drummer will be, I think, and I'm not positive, but I think they used Josh Freese. I think that's who was playing most of the night. Yeah. That's a pretty sound drummer.
Oh, yeah. And he's great.
I would tend to think he's the guy. What do I know?
I mean, he's very good. He's a pro. He's played with lots of bands. Last minute, you can rely on a guy like that. He's he's definitely one of the top touring drummers, right?
Yeah, I saw him when he was young. He was playing with Dweezil Zappa, and he was playing a lot of the Frank Zappa music. Frank was still alive. Mm-hmm. And they were doing these tributes, and I saw it in New York, a thing called Zappa. What the hell it was called? Some kind of Zappa day. It was 4 days, and each day, one day Steve Vai played, the next day Warren DeMartini played, which was amazing to see him play something other than Rat. He played a Frank Zappa song called "Dirty Love," it was really good. And Josh Freese was a young guy, jamming. He since has played with everybody. He seems to be down to earth. I think he can probably handle that kind of gig. So I have the feeling that he is the. Somebody's saying that they heard that Phil Varone is available. I think that Dave Grohl was probably considering that.
Yeah, he was on his way to the gig, and they drove past a sex shop, and they never heard from him again.
Yes. Here's a question that Johnny said this on the show a lot of times, but $5 is $5. Is it true that you are the voiceover in Donnie's Party Time video? And if so, why didn't you get credit?
Yeah, he called me and asked me to do it. And I did it, got it right back to him, sent it out, and then I heard it in there. I don't know why I didn't get credit from him. I mean, you even have to ask that. And why do you think? I don't know why. Maybe he forgot. Yeah. I don't think he likes to give me credit for anything. But I ain't doing any more of those.
It seems that well, yeah. And I don't think he's going to come to the Displayin' show, but no. We're going to put out an invite.
Yeah, he's not going to come to that. Who's going to drive him?
Well, you.
Pick him up.
Play at the plate. I think that's an out though. So still 4-1. He doesn't like Stephen Pearcy, from what I've heard. Don't know what their personal problem is, but he does not like him. Chip likes him.
who knows?
And then Bill Shapiro points out we want V, Monaco, Chip, and Vic Fox. That is the way.
Well, I've heard that before, but unfortunately, you got what you got now, and the guy that's out there doing it is perfectly happy with the way it sounds, and that's the problem.
I do believe that there is some money for Enough's Enough with that lineup that we just did. That lineup with Johnny playing the Derek part and the other three original guys. I believe there is some money. I know people think that's crazy, but they would move from the band that goes on at 11 a.m. to a band that goes on at maybe 6 p.m. or so. And I think people would be excited. I think they could do all those cruises and all those things that we've talked about. Monsters Under the Mountain, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Cruising Time, whatever those things. They could do all those things and probably do a little bit of touring. I know they're difficult. I'm not even sure that I would want to take on a band like that because they are difficult. And there may be some substance issues somewhere in there. Hopefully not, but it's possible. And but I think it could do well, and I think that bands underestimate themselves. We are playing this weekend with Sweet FA, which is a band that I think nobody knows what that is. Later in the day, Brittany Fox, which is just a bass player for Brittany Fox. I think Leather Wolf, which is one, maybe two people. And
a wolf.
Yeah, and the wolf, naturally. And so I think that Enough's Enough, there would be interest. This was a band that was on David Letterman twice. Pretty huge. He loved them. They were on Howard Stern tons of times. And then if you lived in Chicago, they were on the Man Cow show and stuff. They were on the Jenny Jones show with Johnny Monaco. You can see that. You can see that video. Here's a question. It's a Billy Childs is the name of the guy who is the bass player.
Right. I remember him. I played with those guys. We toured with them.
With Brittany Fox?
Yeah.
Were they nice?
Yeah, they were all nice. And the singer lives here in town, right?
That's the fake singer.
Well, he was in the band when I saw them.
Right. That's the fake. That's Tommy Paris.
Yep.
Who also plays with that accounting band sometimes.
Right.
But he's the fake singer. Dizzy Dean Davidson is the real singer. I don't think either one of them is still around. Trouser Chili is pointing out that Sweet FA was a horrible band, hair band, and Leather Wolf was okay. But Greg thinks it was a lost classic. And Mike thinks Brittany Fox needs to come back with Dizzy Dean Davidson. I agree. I worked on it. We played with Johnny D in Atlantic City, and we all got to talk a little bit. He's the original drummer. He lives in Germany now with Doro. The question that I'm seeing a lot of is, what song in the Stephen Pearcy set, what would you like to see that's not in the set? John, I don't want to answer for you, but you've made videos that pretty much demonstrate.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a handful of them, but I like Morning After and In Your Direction and I Want a Woman. I think those would be good ones. There's a bunch, though.
I told Steven he's missing a marketing opportunity with the Morning After pill, especially now. Rat being the voice of the Morning After.
Right. That's
pill.
Funny.
Yeah, I think that might work. I'm going to see if I can get that going. Indy, thank you so much for the support. Are you still affiliated with Golden Robot Records? Yes. They're not a current sponsor, but they're always going to be affiliated, and we still have to do the contest ending. Unfortunately, we all got a little busy, but we are going to do it. There will be a winner. Hugh Reich, 1967, also likes Sweet FA. So see, there's something for every buddy. Johnny is crazy skinny in that Jenny Jones show. What's your secret? It's a good Johnny. What was the secret?
Well, I mean, it was a long time ago, and I mean, as we get older, there's nothing I could do about that. You know, we could work out and you could do things and stay in shape, but your body changes shape a little bit. like a potato. And I've always been the same weight. I think I'm kind of the same weight as I was then. I'm a little bigger, but this shirt isn't very slimming. But I've just always been that weight, and I can't fit in those. I think I have that shirt still.
Yeah.
For some reason, because I can't find like cool shirts, and I thought that one was cool, and I have it in my closet. And I was thinking of trying to wear it for the Rat Show. I just don't know, because sometimes you're in the middle of something and then boop. So I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work, I'll just go to Plan B and put on a muumuu.
Plan B also would be the morning after.
Oh boy.
Plan C is when you put Wesson oil all over the steps.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
A whole nother problem.
Just go down the stairs. I'll meet you down there. You go first.
The way this country's going, I don't think we're that far off. Maybe it's all the Las Vegas custard. We have not been back to the custard.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking. I mean, I do intermittent fasting, so I've been eating all day. So I'm really hungry.
I'm with you. I do need to lose some weight. I was thinking that maybe that's the pro to cancer. You know, maybe if I can just lose a little weight, and then what the hell, you know?
I mean, I know people they look at us and it's vain, like they're skinny. Why? What do you mean you're not fat? But it's not that. It's when you see an angle or in a photo or something, and you know, it's probably just as we get older, things, you know, gravity sets in, but you do all you can to try to stay okay for photos, and then you don't want to. Some people don't care. I mean, I guess the ultimate is to not care, right? Just go out there, let them take pictures of you, orca. You know, I'll wear whatever I want. I'll wear this dress on stage that I got at the gas station, and I'll go up and play a new thing. I'll do what I want, you
know. I agree. Never use love. That's a good one. I like that one. I'll tell you who looks good for a bunch of older fellas. These guys. These guys look good. They look hip. You know, this is, and you know what? They had a big part in making that look popular. This is Hanoi Rocks as of today. This is the reunion. This is what a lot of people tuned in to hear us talk about, and 150 people watching right now. I appreciate all of the super chats. It always helps to support the show. For people who are wondering what's coming up on the show, I do get that question quite a bit. There is a tour diary out right now. We just kind of dropped that one. And you can, I'm just trying to get this off the screen. Those fellows are looking too good and making me look too bad. But you can watch that tour diary. I was at the Whiskey. Johnny's in it, actually. That was before Johnny was in the band. A lot of people were confused by it. It was filmed in February. And really, I used to work for a TV show called The Real World, MTV. And you would film a lot of things, and then they would make a story out of something. I should be doing that, but who's got the time? So you get kind of this loose idea. Johnny was in town to do something for Super Bowl weekend with his friends, and we met up. It was probably one of the first times. I think Johnny and I had met before, but it was one of the first times that we definitely hung out. And I said, I had to go run some errands to get merchandise, and so Johnny came with me. And even then, I did think that Johnny might be a good fit for Steven's band, should it come up. And anyway, all that story will unfold as the weeks come. The next episode is Connecticut and Pittsburgh, Mohegan Sun Arena. Quiet Riot is in this one. Rudy's in it, and Jizzy's in it. Johnny Kelly. It's real fun. They're all fun. Slaughter. And so that one should be out any minute. If you're not a member of my Patreon or a patron, go do that in the description. You'll watch all the videos before anybody else. I'm catching up on mailing people their things and all that. I haven't forgot anybody. It's just been hectic. And so, so you'll see that soon. And there's more. And then I'm filming on the road every week. There are new Stephen Pearcy shows announced today. I can't tell you where they are because That's for him to put on officialstephenpearsley.com. But
Oh,
we have shows booked into March of 2023,
hmm.
and he's always got something new. Beer careers 9999999. I have trouble seeing. Said they're proud of us, which is nice. I think. Yeah, hold on. Indie Cult says, as said in the latest tour diary chat, knowing I've probably been cussed out by Johnny Monaco while driving makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, some crazy guy messaged me, and all it said was, "Learn how to drive."
The direct message.
You had to be in the car, okay, to know it's not me. I mean, we're trying to get up that hill in the back behind it. It was this weird angle, and it was like a cliff where there was gravel and no railing, so you had to go exactly up it. And I kept trying to go, but it wasn't. My tires were spinning because of it was gravel and it was in a weird angle. So I had to keep going around and try to. And that's why I was asking those guys, "What am I doing wrong?" I wasn't trying to be, you know, smart with them. I was just trying to, they're working out there. They know the terrain. Give me some pointers. They're laughing at me. But I couldn't have been the only person that had trouble with that. And as far as the people that I'm screaming at, well, when you drive with your brights on, or you drive right behind me, or you cut in front of me, what are you supposed to do? I try to take it easy, but it gets a little riled up. But I think my driving's fine.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, listen, this is theater also. You guys are watching something. It was a long night, and, there's a camera. Why would you be, you don't want to be boring. And, and everything that Johnny says is true. It was fun being in the car.
Those people
Uh,
should drive like shit. They're worse out here.
Johnny, any chance that you had the Juan Crucier chili before you went to the hospital?
That's funny. We had something, and it wasn't ground beef.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that hot. I don't know what happened. Maybe there's some underlining thing that they just didn't detect. Just because they gave you the pass, like you're okay, they didn't go deep, into your brain.
Well, they want you to follow up. Speaking of following up, I hear that Juan Crucier is about to take on the world again with his power trio. He calls himself the other voice of Rat, and then he says that it's Rat's Juan Crucier. He's toured with this before. No one shows up, and it doesn't pay any money. Listen. I hate to say disparaging things about the guy, but he sucks, and you'd have to be an idiot. Someone should line up outside that show, and anyone who buys a ticket should get smacked in the face. Like one of those giant hands that's on a spring just knocks you over, because you have to be a moron to think that Juan Crucier is the other voice of Rat. Uh, it's ridiculous. A couple of young ladies approached us in the airport, and I told them, they asked if me and Johnny and Joaquin were dancers, and I told them that we were in a show, that Australian show, which was called
Thunder Down Under.
Yeah, the show's called The Thunder from Down Under. I told them that we were in the show called The Thunder from Down Over, which was a completely different review. That's kind of like Juan Crucier, you know what I mean? He's like, he'd be Rat with like one T, and anyway, it would be nonsense. But who knows? Maybe that's one step closer to your heart. And I'm sure they'll be dancing. He'll be dancing a jig.
Hey, ho.
Yeah. Hold on. Chris, who's usually an asshole, today says he's got Mad Wanna, Johnny Thunders, Andy McCoy, and Andy McCoy Swing. Mad Wanna was the solo band from SAMI YAFFA. They were very good. It was a huge band. It was they had like 12 guys in the band. I helped them get a gig at the dive bar. They barely fit on the stage, but yeah, they were great. All that stuff was great. One needs to just stop him and his flying bass move. Stop it. Yeah, he's a joke. The other voice of Rat. Yeah, and It says Juan contributed vocals. I've heard some people say that those vocals stunk. R.A. parentheses T. But anyway, I don't listen. This is all news. I'm also not involved in any of the rat politics. I'm observing as a fan, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't. I have nothing to do with what happens with Steven and Juan. I enjoy working with Steven, and what he does is what he will happen. There will not be a rat reunion. Okay, Billy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're going to wrap up here. Bill saw the final rat show with Juan. I call that fake rat or something like that. Or I call it Ziffy rat because they had that Ziffy guy in the band, Jordan Ziffy, and yeah, good guitar player, but no one gave a fuck. Anyway,
it's good.
Thank you. Thank God that shit's up. He has a new band though. That he's got an androgynous band. They sing about men in high heels and going on boats. And I think they're called Crazy, Sexy, Hot Boys or something.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Any chance of interviewing Steve Stevens after Michael Monroe's interview? It would be interesting to hear Stevens' take on Jerusalem Slim. Yeah, it's a possibility. He lives here in Las Vegas. You know, his wife was married to Jizzy Pearl. She used to be called Josie Pearl. And they had a webcam in. Do you know her?
Yeah, she's from Chicago.
Were you friendly?
Oh, we knew each other for a brief time before she moved to LA.
Yeah. What did she go to LA for? Did she tell you?
She said she was leaving to be, she wanted to be in porn.
Yeah, porn. Yeah. And she did some nude modeling and things, and her and Jizzy lived on this webcam and things. But anyway, she settled down with Steven Stevens, and yeah. But who knows? Maybe he'd come on. I'm more on the side. My personal music, Steve Stevens, is not really my thing. I'm more into Hanoi Rocks and punk rock and things like that. I do listen, me and Johnny saw Yngwie. I love Yngwie, and so I do like certain things. Steve Stevens is not my. Was he one of your guys, Johnny?
No, but I mean, he's really good. I don't know. I just kind of like accepted all the songs because the Billy Idol songs are so good, you know. But as far as a guitar player specifically, I never really got into it. But I mean, he's very good, very good.
Yeah, we should probably wrap up pretty soon so that we can eat. For a guy who's a pretty big rock star, Steve Stevens seemed to take a lot of rando interviews. I mean, I don't know how big a rock star Steve Stevens is. I've had bigger stars on this show, by far. And so I don't know. But there are rando interviewers, though. There's people out there. I saw one the other day, Johnny. I saw a guy doing one of these YouTube shows, and it was somebody, and maybe he had anyway, it had 6 views.
Yeah.
6. And it was up for a couple of days. Like, just jump out the window. It's time to find another thing. Chat with your friends at home. You don't need a show.
Everybody wants a show.
Yeah, all the world is a stage.
We are nearly players.
Began listening to Rat in '81. So many shows. Sepp is the boss. Blotz rocks. Warren has his own shit. Sepp, Blotz, Jason, and Johnny hit the road, and we will come out. Yeah, that's a good band. It would be Johnny. This is the band. It's me, you. I guess I'm playing bass. You're playing guitar. Blotzer on drums, and Steven. That would be a great Rat.
Oh, that'd be a nightmare.
I would have to get my crab walk and my dancing down. Yeah. Indie Cult has more questions for you, and as long as he's paying, I'm taking those questions. Sorry for asking, Johnny, but with the release of the new tune on Instagram, this is a good question. Hold on, the Yankees have a double. This is a good question, though. Is there a release date in mind for She Said She Found Her Soulmate? Johnny, you have a solo record. I want to point out that you have a song called Perfect Day.
Yeah, I should
Okay.
put the link, or someone put the link. It's
Yeah.
on my page.
Let's share that, and I'll put it in the description afterwards too. Perfect Day. It's a great song. It's catchy. I think not everyone knows Johnny's music. I didn't know it as well. It's really good. It's really catchy, and it's not necessarily what you would think if you think
Oh.
it's not just shredding. It's not and there's great melodies. And anyway, this Perfect Day is a great example. Everyone should listen to it. Uh, and Johnny, so the question is, well, when can we expect to hear your upcoming solo record? She Said She Found Her Soulmate.
Well, I know we've gone over this a couple times, but the thing with that is, like, well, now that we're going to have some time, I'm going to have like a month of downtime. I really should probably finish that. I'm not comfortable in this apartment to just belt it out and kind of get stuff done. That's a little bit of it, but I want to say, I'd like to do it this year. I really do. I want to see if I can get it done before the end of the year.
It would be a great holiday gift for people.
I mean, I don't know when you're supposed to release albums anymore, or if it even matters.
No, they do. You do. You have to put out a physical copy that you can sign and
Yeah.
include fun treats.
Yeah, people. The last couple I've only done digital. I haven't even put anything out there physical.
Yeah, people want that, and I think it'd be a great collectible. I've heard the majority of the record, and it's great. And so I hope that people, and I'm not just saying that. So I hope that people will check that out when it comes. I think you'll see it sooner than later. Like he said, he has some time. Johnny's a little bit of a perfectionist. He might be a little bit of a Phil Spector. I don't mean killing women, but
Well,
he'll roll it out.
there's always time for that.
But he wants it to be right, and it's not a bad way to see. Bill Shapiro randomly dropping the name Michael Hers. That goes back to a story from Trauma I said a long time ago. It's like it's like funny. Like there's a few people like now trying to defend Juan or something. Stop. The waste of my time. I'm trying to skip through the bullshit. But the doctor is here. Doctor says it's a very good song. The video could have used the smoking balcony guy, though. True.
Oh,
Probably too
God,
hot.
I keep running into that guy in the elevator. It's so awkward. He's actually seems nice. Now I feel bad, but I just can't get it out of my head every time in the elevator with I could probably end this right here. But he's, he talks and he's nice and he's, I don't really know. Maybe they're just unaware. I always think they're doing it on purpose.
Yes, I mean, I think that's a possibility. It looks like we're going to intentionally walk Aaron Judge, which upsets the fans. I don't know, Johnny, you're not a big baseball guy, but
Well,
right now,
I'm wearing a cup.
Yeah, well, that's true. But it's always good to be safe. But the Yankees, Aaron Judge, I believe as of right now, he has 55 home runs, the legitimate home run record in baseball. This is his third intentional walk today. The legitimate record, in my opinion, is 61 home runs set by Roger Maris in 61, which was 61 years ago. He, the other guys who've hit home runs since, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire, all used steroids. So we may have a chance to have a clean home run record. So it's exciting to watch.
And by clean, you mean their urine?
Yes, excuse me. Yes, I don't know about the rest of it, but
well, it's a different game now. It is. It's so extreme, and they're bigger guys. They're throwing the ball harder. There's different material. The bats are different. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, when they have Negroes allowed in the game. Sorry. No, baseball was one of the few racist sports that had, in some of the prime years, these great African American players were not able to even play. You want to watch a great movie? Watch 42 about Jackie Robinson. Incredible story. But but now baseball is a worldwide sport, all cultures. And I went to see the Yankees play in Anaheim, and it was exciting. Yeah, I'm far from home, so got to see them when they get near. Anyway, I'm so glad that everybody has tuned in. All rise for the judge. And yeah, they need to sign judge, of course. And Johnny, I love the Eddie Van Halen meets 50s rock in your solo for the song I Won't Let You Go.
I don't know what that is.
You like that one, Johnny?
I don't know what that is.
You don't have a song called I Won't Let You Go?
Not that I'm aware of.
Maybe it's an enough song.
It probably is. I mean, a lot of people assume that I played on those albums. I've only played a few short solos here and there, and because I just couldn't deal with them. But I would have loved to have been on more stuff. I think a lot of people just do it because they want to, say that they're on the album. It's a time capsule. Like I was on this, but it was so much to deal with that it was almost not worth it to me. And years later, what would it have mattered? I would have said, yeah, that one.
It's from the Enough's Enough 7 album.
Yeah, I'm not on that song. I know the song you're talking about. I like it. I think a lot of those were recorded like years before the album came out. Like they had versions of it with other people. And
they used some old Derek solos somewhere too, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's probably one of them. Now that I think about it, I mean, I'd have to listen to it, but
that's a compliment.
I wouldn't doubt that is probably because anytime there was really good stuff happening with good vibrato and that kind of flavor you're talking about, it was probably him. Gino Martino played a bunch of cool solos in that era too, and he was really good. But unfortunately, I did not get to play that many.
Gotcha. Yeah. Egos. Tris, thank you very much. And last one, and thank you for keeping on. What's your favorite sitcom of all time? Well, this is a good question for me and for Johnny, because Johnny and I, our show is better when we're at dinner, which hopefully we'll be at soon, when we can just talk unfiltered and uncensored. But sitcoms, this is a specialty for me. My favorite two that always come to mind, but we could talk about a few, would be Sanford and Son and The Odd Couple. I don't know if The Odd Couple is considered a sitcom, but it should be.
Right.
Now, what do you like, Johnny?
Oh, boy. Is Seinfeld a sitcom? No, that's not.
That's tricky because I feel like it should be. It's a great show.
I also liked Sanford and Son. The Honeymooners.
Honeymooners, probably the first sitcom and one of the best of all time. That and Lucy, I guess. But
I mean, yeah, I even though those are older and people are like, those are old. Those are, they're performing live in front of an audience like that, and they're really funny. I would say those. I don't know if they're my favorites, but like Seinfeld, I also like
favorites. Johnny and I are both from a time when you sat in front of the TV and watched sitcoms. I'm an only child. I really spent a lot of time in front of the TV. I'm in front of it right now. But so there's so many great shows, and there's not as many being made now. I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is incredible. I don't think that's a sitcom, but
no, they're talking about like a live in front of an audience kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I think that's more of what they're talking about. The Odd Couple was like that.
Yeah, Carol Burnett show.
I don't know if that's more of a variety show, I think.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
The sitcom is where you have a plot. You guys can tell us in the comments what your favorites are. Right now, here's one. Barney Miller was great.
Yeah, that was great.
The question is better theme song. So the bass playing on Barney Miller's theme is amazing, but Sanford and Son for me wins. That Sanford and Son theme, it's called Street Beater, and it's written by Quincy Jones. And
great.
And here's another one we can't forget. Three's Company is also incredible.
Yeah. All those are classics. I know it sounds like we're old, or it sounds like you're not with it, but the new stuff, like the comedy, I mean, comedians here and there are funny, but there's nothing like those anymore. They don't even write them like that. They're not. There's no one that funny that can carry a show. We just forget about people, and then they die, and you forget about it, and you just think, oh, they're old, they're on MeTV, I don't care about that. But all that stuff is super funny.
Jefferson was incredible. Ran for a long time, and it was funny. Different Strokes had a great theme song. Different Strokes was funny also. The theme song to Different Strokes, Joe Esposito, who sang "You're the Best Around" in the movie The Karate Kid, a friend of mine. He is one of the voices singing on that with Alan Thicke, and I think his ex-wife Gloria, I think her name was. But anyway, yeah, the Regal. We can't go wrong with the Regal Beagle. We should go to the Regal Beagle.
And Tim Conway.
Yeah, Tim Conway's Taxi is another one. Great show. Taxi is so funny.
Very funny.
And Bob Newhart is good, but it's a little before. It's a little old for me. All in the Family is good, but at times it's too serious for me. Some of those shows.
Dick Van Dyke Show.
Dick Van Dyke was great. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Maude. Someone mentioned Maude. That's super funny.
Maude got a little dated for me, but I thought it was good. When I was a kid, I didn't completely get Barney Miller. And then I watched it as an adult, and I said, wow, this is amazing.
My friend here, Julia, she's from Canada, and she said she learned how to speak English by watching Three's Company, but mostly words like bush and tits.
You know what that means, though? If she learned to speak English from Three's Company, it means that she overheard a lot of things incorrectly and then assumed the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like she would probably, like if someone's fixing the pipes down below, she would think the conversation's about her.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I think a lot of people say that. A lot of people learned English from our television. WKRP in Cincinnati, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that's great too.
Munsters was great, of course.
Welcome Back, Kotter, very good.
Stephen Piercy's future wife, Miss Truth Adair, Christy, I think it's her grandfather. He was a writer on the Munsters and a lot of other things, but he created the character of Spot, who lives under the stairs in those episodes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which is
I didn't
really
know
cool.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to talk to her next time. She's got amazing stories about it.
I didn't know
Happy
that.
Days. Love Happy Days. Love it.
Okay.
Welcome Back, Kotter. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Golden Girls, very good.
Yeah, Golden Girls is one of the later ones that was still fun and as people say, still holds up. It's funny that those old bats weren't so old. The first one to die, Estelle Getty, was actually younger. I think she might have been the youngest. But hey, Red Fox was probably between my age and your age when he filmed Sanford and Son. He wasn't that old. They chalked his hair up and all those things, but he really wasn't that old. But he was convincing.
Oh, man. So funny.
There's
There's a lot of those shows. I mean, we're kind of just naming them all now, but none of them were really like bad.
Julia can't get rid of the accent.
Yeah. Well, she still has an accent. You would like her accent. It's very sexy.
Is it French?
It's like French Canadian.
Well, that's what I was assuming.
I mean, I didn't know about that until she explained it to me. I thought those were two different countries, but evidently it's got a mixture of the two. So you can order a wine, but still sound like polite.
They've got this thing called Pluto. Not just Mickey Mouse's dog, but it's called Pluto, and it's available on Roku or probably some other streaming services. I'm trying to get Johnny to get into this, but they have full channels. So there is a Love Boat channel, and there is a Three's Company channel, and that's all that plays 24 hours a day. And it's so incredible. And if you're looking for another reason to sit in front of the TV, and listen, speaking of TV, this weekend Cobra Kai returns. I think season 5. I have to download the episodes onto my iPad so that I can watch them on the plane. Mary Tyler Moore. Oh, One Day at a Time. I've been watching that. It's on the Pluto. And Valley Bernelli was so hot.
Oh, yeah.
Before Eddie Van Halen ruined her.
Yeah, well.
Johnny loves Me TV. I don't get it. I got to get it again.
I watch it. That was one of my favorite things I used to do on Saturdays. I used to get pizza and watch that. And now I don't know. It's just not the same anymore.
Well, things have changed a bit. I saw a good one here. Oh, Benson. Remember Benson?
Of course.
Benson was a good one, too. I used to love Benson. Charles in Charge a little later, but I watched it. Nicole Eggert was very hot. Laverne and Shirley, another good one. There's good stuff. Svengoolie, The Three Stooges, Sci-Fi Saturday Night Gang. That's a big Johnny night.
Yeah, I try to watch that as much as I can, even if I've seen them before. I still just, I don't know, I like it. I just do.
Wonder Woman. I would still bang Wonder Woman to this day.
Oh
Like,
boy.
I don't. She might be 90, but I would tap that ass. Should it be on the table?
Alice.
Alice is great. I don't know if I would tap that ass, but yeah, Alice, Linda Lavin is alive.
What about
And
All in the Family?
somebody said that. I think sometimes it gets a little too serious. But
You know, what was a good one that kind of flew under the radar, but that was still funny is Soap.
Soap, yeah, Soap was way under the radar, and I don't think everyone was ready for Soap at its time. Soap was dealing with issues that we're just getting to now.
Soap's good.
If we ever get out to Arizona, I want to visit the Mel's Diner. It's not, the interior is fake. All that's there is the sign of the cup of coffee. But I've always wanted to see that. So hopefully we can bring that to you in a future tour diary. Okay. Well, Benny Hill.
Yeah.
My friend told me he was just in England to see the Rolling Stones at Hyde Park. And he said that he was telling someone how much he enjoyed Benny Hill, and they told him that they're not allowed to watch it there. I think Benny Hill is canceled, which is crazy. But it's a 95-year-old man hitting a woman on the fanny, I guess, is looked down upon. I don't know.
I like when he smiles.
Oh, it's the best. I want to watch. I'm in the mood to have like a Benny Hill marathon now.
He's funny when he smiles. It reminds me of the new MONROE lineup.
He does look a little Benny Hill. MONROE, for those of you who don't know, we have to get some music news in, has announced Michael Angelo Badio as their new guitar player. The other guitar player, Very Serious Matter, he had some sex crime problem with a minor. And thank goodness, I think Michelangelo, he doesn't have any problems, does he?
I don't know. I think maybe they're just trying to make it a lateral move.
Maybe they can just Google it at home. Yes on Jefferson's. Yes, Linda Carter is stupid hot. Oh, Facts of Life. Facts of Life. I love Facts of Life. That was a great one. He says a heavy show. I think that's a shot at Natalie. She wasn't that heavy, but that's a college in California where they filmed that, where Eastman School, and I will go there and film that. I did go to the house where the Ropers lived, and I filmed that. You're going to see all this stuff in future episodes. Perfect Strangers, that's one that I think people forgot. Flo, Kiss My Grits. Big Payback, the legendary Mel Sharples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should have started this conversation earlier because I could go for hours. But and Good Times. Let's see here. Yes, Alice, as they point out, Alice is based off of a movie, a Martin Scorsese movie, and Vic Tayback was Mel was the only character who was in the movie, but he was in the distance, and I believe it was serious. Joe is calling Carl Logan a pedophile. Normally you would say alleged, but I believe it's not alleged. I believe he was convicted.
That happens.
Yeah, Davy and Goliath. That silly show always started like a fun kid show, and Davy and the dog, and they were having so much fun. And then at the end, they hit you with a bunch of religious bullshit. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Mormon, I think.
Yeah, well, the Mormons, they're crazy.
Yeah. Silver Spoons. That was a good one. I liked Punky Brewster. The other day I follow Punky Brewster on Instagram, which is an honor because I don't follow many people. I'm not very social. Although, Johnny, I did learn today on my Facebook that I don't have it public.
No.
And so, yeah, so that's probably a bad way to promote business opportunities. It wasn't public.
Sure.
But anyway, this, I can't remember what story I was going to tell you. I got so distracted. Wasn't Davy and Goliath?
By MONROE?
I can't remember. I'll think about it. MONROE guitarist used to give guitar lessons here in Central New York in his undies.
That sounds about right.
Do you think it was long undies?
Did he make you also wear your underwear?
Punky Brewster. I'm following this Punky Brewster. I'm following this Punky Brewster on Instagram, and she went to the Ukraine on like some humanitarian mission. Sounds great. Core response. I mean, what a sweet person, but we cannot have something happen to our beloved Punky Brewster. Oh my goodness. I haven't been able to sleep at night. I think she's back to her home in Beverly Hills by now. Kiss my grits. What you talking about, Willis? We could do a whole show just on catch phrases. A lot of people asking for Alf. Alf doesn't necessarily hold up to me, but okay. Bill knows about Pluto TV.
Lost in Space.
Yeah. Well, now we're branching out of sitcoms.
Right. Now this is like just free for all.
Kung Fu. Yeah. We're just TV. Yeah. Punky Brewster, very hot now. Fish, the spinoff of.
Oh yeah, right. Fish was good. He was
Night
great.
Gallery, which is from Johnny's or
fantastic stuff. Yeah, it's not like that anymore. Watch TV now.
Yes, Benson is from Soap. It was a spinoff. Boy, so many comments here. This is tough. Jason, please react to Bill Burr's Rat documentary YouTube show next week. Sounds like I'm promoting something. Stephen will like a lot too. I can promise you Stephen won't watch it. Probably a good chance I won't watch it either. My life has been I got enough rats. I got a rat problem. Yeah. Jesus, the Ropers, yeah. Ropers wasn't great, but it's still fun. Fucking fish was language. All right, Greatest American Hero. It's not a sitcom, but I definitely enjoyed The Greatest American Hero. And then now we're naming Night Patrol, which is a great movie, but movies are not included here. All right, Cheers. Yeah, I guess Cheers is a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers is another one that I didn't like as much as a kid.
No.
All right. Well, by the wall on the clock and my cat meowing. Bitsy, you want to pander for some food? All right, come on. My cat is 17 years plus. She is a senior. Yes, you are. And we're working on a ventriloquist act, right, Bitsy? Huh? She doesn't really like to be. Yes, she's very shy. Anyway, it's time for Bitsy to have her dinner. It's time for me to shoot some insulin, and then Johnny, we should go eat something.
I gotta eat something. I'm really hungry right now.
Something healthy.
Oh,
You and I have to get into a good shape for all the traveling that we have coming up.
All right.
All right, guys. Look, we'll come back and we'll do this again. We could talk TV all day. I see this. Bitsy, you made $9.99, Bitsy. Say thank you. Okay.
It kind of sounded like it said that.
Yeah, I think so. Good girl, Bitsy. Talking cat. So she's got a little kibble on the way. Thank you. And we'll talk about, I see this guy, Johnny. He goes to Disneyland and he just films Disneyland. And you can ask him, like, hey, could you go show me what this looks like or that? And he does it and he gets all these tips. I'm thinking, well, what am I fucking, why am I even interviewing people? I'll walk around. And so, Johnny, we should probably go places. And then this guy's got a list of women here. He's into Ahura, Joyce DeWitt, and Linda Carter. I think they're all very sexy. Let's see. Everyone loves Bitsy. She always comes on at the last second to steal the show. And all right, everyone. It was fun. The purpose was to let everyone know what's coming up and also to celebrate the Hanoi Rocks reunion. If you haven't seen my interviews with the 4 members, go to the description. Also, check out Whatnot, a great sponsor of the show. Go to the link. They'll give you $15 for signing up. Whatnot is the coolest new auction site. And go take $15 for free. Why not? I see people using it. They buy something for $15 and it's free. Right, Bitsy? Bitsy has an account. She's gotten her free 15. So I'll answer this real quick. What became of Johnny Thunder's sons? They've gone in and out of prison. They have not done well with as their father didn't either with the legal system. And Johnny's daughter is on. You can find her online, and but they haven't done well. I like this question, right, Johnny? This is Greer's 9999. You tools going to get ice cream?
You know, this guy, he commented earlier and said something that me and you should play guitar and Todd Kearns can play bass.
I didn't see that one. Really?
Makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some people are crazy. If you don't want to play bass, get Todd Kearns to play bass, and you and Johnny pull riffs down like Warren and Robin.
Well,
dig?
Yeah, I'm going to work on that.
You dig that? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to start. I'm going to start my riffs right now on my green guitar.
Okay. Do you need some picks? I got some picks with my name on them. If you need them. There you go.
I need a tuner is what I need. But Johnny does have new picks, and if you see him on the road, ask him, and maybe you can get one. And I always have some picks too. Look at that one. That's a cool one. That's the first look. They call this a first look video with the Johnny Monaco authentic signature.
There you go. Took me like 5 pages to find one that I do it and I look at it and I'm like, do it again.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. All right, Johnny. Well, we're going to practice our signatures. I was signing the bill for dinner right now. I thank everybody for joining you. Check out Johnny's new video, Perfect Day, on his YouTube. It's also on all his social media. Johnny's easy to find. And we will see you all again. What's the gauge, Johnny? What gauge picks do you use?
I went down a gauge. These are heavies, so I want to say 1.14.
Heavy. That's the way to go. Not too heavy, not that crazy Ingve thing. Just a nice heavy.
I did use those prior to this. I had the other ones, and they were like a little thicker. And now I notice that when I'm holding it, I think I'm liking the thinner a little better because it's a little more controllable. But who knows?
Johnny does have some picks available on his site now, and I think he will add these. He has 2 or 3 different Stephen Tour picks, and he will add those in time, and then maybe you can also get them at shows.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope if we're around next Wednesday, we'll do this again. And that's it. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.